I'm not gonna give up until I pump all of these problems out of my brain. I talk about everything basically stupid about Hearthstone in one big sweep. This is episode 5, and we're also close to Mr. B's 10,000. So after all of this, I'm gonna celebrate something over here. Might as well fucking add another person in there. Just saying, bro, I love numbers. And I love card games. I do not love haters, though. But whatever you have to do to watch extra 5 minutes of my video, please do that. Let's cue in another pre-recorded thing. Make it play at 1.25 speed. Doing this. I mean, there's no reason to make this thing so huge. So I have to reorder the whole thing, blah, blah, blah. It looks a little bit more useful now, because you can see the damn whole thing. I try to put D9 in the background, but it's like, whatever. So the first thing we encountered is lack of interactions. So what I did is looked into all the classes and figured out who doesn't like interacting with the board, who just wants to play spells. And there's a lot of classes who just have 20 spells and 10 minions, which makes no fucking sense because, like, what? You're not playing minions at all? Like, we're scared of playing minions now? Spells are so efficient, no interactions. Everything you play just disappears. Even if it's not a Borkler, it's just gonna disappear. Your opponent will not let it slide. They have spells in their hands, bro. Need this part of the screen. This mage alongside with druid in the same category, okay. We know that warrior is like super spell heavy, so at least 3 points go for every single class. Maximum of 30 points, so we shouldn't get very far. It should just be like 50%, right? Very likely shaman is just OTK shaman, nature shaman. What does that mean? It's just spell into your face. How fucking cool is that? So creative and interesting. So 2 classes already eliminated because they don't even want to play a single minion. And they don't have to. Because of Borklers. Why else? What else do we have? Warlock plays a lot of spells if it's 20% spells. Pain Warlock? No, he's just like super fast, 0 cost garbage. The Wheel Warlock has 19 spells. Amazing, right? I'm not gonna count that. Stomper is probably the best counter in the game right now. Yeah, you have to play Speaker Stomper in every single one of your decks. It sounds pretty good. 6, 7, 19. It counts. It definitely counts at least as 2 points. Locations also count as spells because they pretty much do the same thing. You just kind of load up a spell. It's nice, but it's still a spell. Alright, close enough. Priest does not have spells. Plenty enough. How can you print so many spells? But, like, there's class cards, right? The class cards are so powerful, and most of class cards are spells, and so everyone just plays spells. Because the power creep only creeps on the class cards more than the fucking neutrals. And neutrals don't have spells, so guess what is not being played? The entire neutral set is not being played. What the fuck? I don't expect them to at least rogue. Why so many spells? It's ridiculous. So Zilia, it's 3. Because it's lack of interactions idea. Because, oh my god, I summoned Ziliax and it doubles. And you can't do anything about it. Dragon Druid, everything is clean. But for example, here's a not spell-heavy deck. Holy shit. For a comparison, right? How many spells Highlander has? 1? Isn't that crazy, right? We have 1, 2, 3. Alright, does play Razor Scale. Let's go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. So, and does need all those armor cards too now. The metagame. Oh my god. That's a normal deck. And then you have a bunch of fucking weird, degenerate nonsense because Blizzard power corrupt spells to insanity as well. And here we are. There's so many layers to the bullshit that Hearthstone has invented. Unbelievable. Okay, how many spells no minion mage plays? I said it as a joke, but like, whatever. Just count minions instead. Because it's not like they have weapons, right? They don't even play the keyboard. That's so crazy. Mage is so not talented. 8, 9, 10. They're kind of cheating, it feels like, because this is basically two secrets. 10, 12, 14. I mean, still half of the deck is spells. 2 points. Everything else is cleaner. I can double check Demon Hunter, but I want to check Hunter too. Most spells like summon minions at least. But it's still a lot of spells. Even if they summon minions. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's weird. And with spells, you can hide all those stats, you know? Mage and armor. Oh, but it's just a 4 mana 12/12. Of course, for Hunter, you know, like. I hidden the stats though, so you don't see like the attack and health, but it's a 4 mana 12/12. What the fuck? Stop us from interacting. 1 out of 3 plagues. 1 out of 3. Oh yeah, plagues. They're not interactive in general. And they make the game even less interactive when they make your cards cost more. Plagues more expensive. I mean, it's a B. Everything goes to B after all. I just want to see. It's almost an A, if anything stands out in terms of cards. You can't interact with weapons. You cannot interact with locations. This is an A tier. Oh, thank God. They try to print like counters to these things, but they have to fundamentally change rules the way these things work. And it's not that easy. So yeah, you can't interact with locations or weapons, even though you could be able to, like if you attack with a minion, your opponent's face could freeze. That would be nice. Your minion could take damage, like, but your opponent won't be able to attack ever again because he tried to defend himself from that minion or whatever. May not lose durability doing, I don't know. But like, it would be more interactive than just printing a fucking Viper every 2 years. The game needs another Viper. There's no ways to remove locations besides, oh, but I have to add the way to remove locations for Reno and all those, like, twisting nether effects. But, like, normally you can't interact with locations. It would be nice if you can just close the location before it fully opens. At least that would be cool. If you could attack into a location, for example, to close it. Maybe you don't want to specifically deal with that effect. Maybe you can deal with that effect and you don't want to close it. Fuck it, but the option is not there. You know, they don't even have it to have extra. And now that OTKs are dominating, yep, we're fucked. Let's continue. Drawing. Just control and aggro. Tempo is dead. It's not necessarily dead, like Paladin is tempo, Druid is tempo, Shaman is half tempo, Death Knight is half tempo, and there's only 3.5 control classes as well. Mage, Warrior, half Death Knights, half Demon Hunter, and Warlock. Well, technically that's 4. But there's always the least amount of tempo classes, and as you can see, those tempo classes are way down here, so they barely count. They're way down there because playing minions is a dead concept. Great. But there's one entire aspect of the game missing. Out of the triad of aggro, tempo, and control, there's one piece completely missing, completely obliterated. And after Paladin got nerfed, it's no longer even competitive to play tempo at the moment. Aggro, control, anomaly. What? How many? So we have 2.5. Mostly aggro. I might have not evaluated properly. Where is it? This is in C tier. So tempo is not competitive. It's pretty much missing. There's only 2, like, genuine classes that want to play it. 3. Then there's 4, and the rest is also 4. So it has the least amount of playability in the game right now. You wouldn't even be able to tell now what tempo is, but technically it's those passive abilities, and I will try to highlight in a tournament of who's the best tempo class. But at the end of turn effects, right, those are tempo effects. And I want to test it to the max, what I can do with that. So, we'll find out. But for now, the sentiment is pretty strong. At least it exists to some extent. I can play it. Maybe it's the most complicated thing to play and people don't want to touch it, but it works to some extent, so whatever. Maybe it's just like very hard to play those decks. I'll just take that argument and move on. It's a C tier. I want more tempo decks to be viable, but it's not that way. Oh well. 50% of people want to play control. But there's a lot of people playing control. And I've seen 40% of people playing warrior control specifically. A lot of dominant decks turn to be control. The Sludge Warlock was kind of like tempo, but like very fast. Super tempo. Which beats everything. I don't know, it's weird. In Hearthstone, more data needs to be collected because it's supposed to me, you know. Got in trouble. Alright. Elder Scrolls Legends! Woohoo! My favorite card game. That does not make me fucking rage all the time. The only reason why I play Hearthstone is there's new content. That's the only thing they know how to do. They know how to do slavery, and they know how to pump out those fucking cards. But here, Elder Scrolls Legends is dormant. There's no new content, but I still like playing it. How is that fucking possible? On the list. Because it's balanced. And there's more reasons, and first of all, the difference of how it feels like when the game is balanced, where everything matters. Every little thing you do, fucking shackling, which is freezing, putting lethal on creatures, removing, dealing damage, everything. Drawing cards matters ridiculously much. And you can draw cards in a very interesting way. By getting damaged. By getting your rune damage. So you're constantly calculating how much damage your opponent is going to deal to you, and if you're going to draw a card because of that. You have 5 runes, and this mechanic allows you to manipulate your opponent. Oh, you also have 2 lanes. Yes, you have 2 lanes. You have the shadow lane where your monsters gain one stealth turn to do their passive things or prepare an attack. So you can... This way you can deal a lot of damage to your opponents, even if they kind of have control over the board. They cannot just clear your minions from the shadow lane because they cannot be, well, targeted with other minions. You can target them with spells, though. But that makes it fair. That makes spells very powerful, even though they don't deal that much damage. Just dealing 3 damage is powerful enough for a spell of 3 mana cost. 3 mana, not 2, 3! And it's still powerful to deal 3 damage. Get some the main lane, or you have to take over the main lane to put pressure on your opponent. There's ridiculous. And yes, in the main lane where monsters don't have stealth, you have to take over that lane. There's strategy of like you have to play on the main lane first, dominate it, and then you can go into stealth lane because your opponent has like 10 health left, and you need stealthy minions to finish the job. It has layers, it has dimensions, it has strategy. Every single fucking hit point matters because even when the monster has 1 health, it's very difficult to remove that monster because there's no pings. There's no just like 1 damage that you can throw at these things with a hero power or a weapon or whatever. It's not that simple. So you have to really trade efficiently. You have to think into the future. It's so fucking crazy. This an adult card game, for real. And there's not enough adults, so Elder Scrolls Legends has been discontinued. Not enough adults, boys. Grow the fuck up, and you'll be finding yourself playing this game instead. Tentacles mana straight. Nerfs happened that needed to happen, and the game is now dormant, unfortunately. 5 health. and it can heal itself. This one has removals and buffs. This one has poison, which is lethal. Ability to move and pilfer the opponent. And this one has a lot of spells. Yes, having a lot of spells is not just every class, but specifically this red one. I mean, blue one. And then it has Divine Shield, which is called Ward. You can either mix 2 colors or 3 colors if you want. Yeah, you don't just have yellow color, which would be Paladin, where it just has buffs and Divine Shields at the same time. Damn, that's a lot. And you can mix these colors together to get different classes. That's just very slick and simple, in my opinion. It's how it's supposed to look like in Hearthstone. You can mix certain cards together instead of having these dual class bullshit. There's triple class. There's a lot of things borrowed from Hearthstone here, but they made it properly. Everything's so fucking balanced. It's insane, bro. Having something is a feature. There are, again, the good cards and the bad cards, but it's still very satisfying because the rest has to be filled with your skill. If you don't have skill playing this game, you will lose. It's very easy to misplay. Holy Jesus. I find myself misplaying almost every fucking game. That's all I have to say. It's a card game. Or, with Hearthstone, you don't even know whether you misplay or not because everything's just random. Not caring about the other cards for train that you have to play. Just there's not a lot of random in this game as well. And it's just still enough strategy. You don't even generate that many cards. But the way you draw cards creates strategy because you have to take damage to draw cards sometimes. Just manipulate and I haven't experienced. And sometimes you draw your cards to your opponents because you're dealing damage to them. And it's the greatest mechanic because by losing health, you still gain resources. You can still fight back with like cheap cards. All of it, so fuck yeah. Let's talk about Tentacles. Oh my god, and let's play the Tentacle Shaman. That should be fun. Now, some effects. It's the most degenerate thing where you're just going for that 10 mana spell. But somehow I never actually went that far with Tentacles. I just won mini 1 mana spell. The stupid part in what Tentacles represent is playing one card over and over again for a different, greater effect to the point where it just becomes an insane effect at 10 mana. I don't understand the sort of gameplay, bro. Just you do one thing and it works. You doing one thing. How is it not nerfed instantly? And guess what? Like now I will look at nerfs and I'll be like, oh my god, you forgot to nerf this and that and this. That's how I'm gonna look at nerfs. Because there's barely like 8 nerfs max that they fucking pump out. They should do 10 nerfs every single week almost. Maybe every 2 weeks. Make it consistent at least. I don't know, bro. Safety goggles. So people can just play the same fucking decks, especially the same degenerate decks that don't want to even interact with the game no more. And the moment it's turn 6, I just conceded. I didn't give a fuck. He's like, oh, I'm confident I can blow you up. Ah, whatever. I have 40 health. I don't want to deal with this shit. It's likely he just needs to play 8 spells that deal 5 damage. Who cares? And cost 0 mana. Well, whatever. You get the idea. This one I just win because my opponent didn't care about the board for some reason. Bro, you have 6 rolls. Guess what is gonna hit? What is the spell? Can't do that. What the f- This deals 5 damage. It can be anything on this board. There's 11 things to choose from. And I got a jackpot. Let's fucking... Oh, he just died. Also, let's do clappers. That was weird. Surely we had fun. Because I couldn't even get to turn 10. I didn't even have to. Guys, I played one card over and over again. Oh my god, that's so crazy. Wow! This is the new Hearthstone gameplay. Play one card for some reason. Oh, unbelievable, bro. I'll just put it in a D tier for obvious reasons. I need to play Tentacles more. I need to make an exclusive video for this shit. Play one card. You don't even need one brain cell anymore. I don't know what you need, bro. You need a hand and a mouse to play one card. No brain cell needed anymore. You can be amoeba without brains. A cell. You need a cell to fucking execute a strategy, bro. Tentacle strategy. Fucking what is going on, bro? We're degenerating this game into whatever this is. This is a meme. It should be at C at this point. I'm putting it at C. It's such a meme that it exists in the game. We have automatons as well on top of everything that I've just said. It's pretty says of like, so I discussed. One-click play is a very complicated concept, so I will try to say it one more time because I think I failed. Do you see a way to click something that you start the game with a random deck and you just play the game? But no, Blizzard wants money and like you have to build the decks because you have to scramble for money and resources and all that shit. I just want to play the fucking game though sometimes. Casual is not casual, bro. And it's also not one click. One click, then you fucking click this, then you have to switch, then you have to unclick, and you have to think of like, oh, but I mainly want to play standard, but I want to play casual right now. But casual is garbage because you still have to build a fucking deck for it. Ugh. Where's the one button I click get random deck, get random whiz-bang bullshit going on just so I could complete some quests? Oh, Tavern Brawl, but Tavern Brawl is fucking losers, bro. It doesn't give you a deck either. Most of the time, you either get random garbage or you get, you know, to build your own deck. And you don't know what the rules exactly are, and it will take you a long time until you get used to building for Tavern Brawl just to get one pack, and then you're like, oh, okay, that's it. What the fuck is the point? Where's the one button I click and I play game? Oh, Battlegrounds. I can play game when I play, of course. Wrong button. That's why Battlegrounds is so easy. You just click and play. Fuck yeah, bro. Now I realize. One click and play is necessary for the game. You get to explore, you get to complete quests. Maybe you're gonna realize you warmed up and you want to play the game even more. You get to explore all the cards that you haven't actually played ever before. Maybe this, you know, random 5 cards in the deck, and then the rest is like 50% win rate decks against each other and all that shit. Blizzard gets to test more and get more numbers out of the game. See which cards people really like. They're so necessary, bro. And this shit doesn't exist. They try to create all these fucking game modes that people can't even access because, like, oh, you clicked, but it's locked? What are you trying to do here? Oh my god. What are you doing? Oh, one game mode disappeared, haven't it? Oh my god, we just deleted that one. Oh my god, it's gone. That is the weirdest fucking bullshit ever. Where is that one click? It has to be at least here. But it is at C. There's no way it's C. It's so annoying that I can't just play the fucking game. They even give you catch-up, and none of this matters. Just click one play. Random. How difficult could that be? Even Whizbang, like, does random things, but you have to play against real decks and feel miserable and shit. What's the point? And if you want a reward system, like, give 1 coin for every single win. And give 1 coin extra if your opponent decided to just quit the game and or rope you and just, like, whatever. I don't know. You can do some more shenanigans with that one thing. One click. You can create alternative rules for that shit. Just slightly different. You can put the stupid Cho'Gall in every single deck. So there's always an anomaly when people play those decks. Like, it's crazy that this shit does not exist right now because I just came up with this idea and I'm like, shit, that's amazing. Anyways, moving on from this amazing idea. Incapable, still one thing. I'm excited, but we have to let go of this cool idea. Oh, before. For fuck's sake. Alright, the big one. The big juicy one. Lack of nerves. Now I can talk about those cards that just make me fucking vomit so badly, bro. They have been not nerfed. And maybe not nerfed for a long time. Can I get a nerf? It's from Titans. It's from 2 expansions ago, bro. This one, I'm not sure how to evaluate exactly. I just want things to get nerfed that don't get nerfed, but it just keeps getting worse because they worship Borklers, and it's the only thing that I want to get nerfed. The moment tempo decks have Borklers, those get nerfed. So Paladin got nerfed a lot of the times recently. They get pretty crazy cards for tempo. And Divine Shields with buffs is just unbelievably strong. Please! I guess it's a 3. They can't come up with just, like, proper tempo strategies. Like, if we have disgusting Borklers, where's my ability to summon minions? You know? Oh, but for 3 mana you can summon this 3/4. You know, for 4 mana you can summon a 4/5. And you're just kind of stuck in this garbage power level. Because everything is just printed very strictly at certain, you know, values. Lack of nerf. The only thing you rely on is effects. T's nerf. Most nerf. But I find pretty good decks in tempo area sometimes. Expansion where 30 cards have, or at least pretty fun ones. And it's definitely unexplored territory for a lot of people. It might be very complicated to play. So who knows? 22. I'm looking at all the nerfs, but I couldn't like find anything. Just the fact that more nerfs could happen, please. Yes. Even the Titans sometimes like have these 3 effects, right? But only 1 effect is being used. So clearly fucking nerf that effect. Ignis has this Wind Fury thing that everyone wants the Wind Fury. Nerf that shit out. If something is being overused and way too desirable, probably too strong, you know? Not by removing lifesteal. It's hard to tell because it feels like it's breathing fire. It's made out of fire. I still don't understand why this card works like this and still has lifesteal. But okay. Okay. It's a skeleton that's shining because inside it seemingly has life force, I guess? I don't know. Where is it sucking that life force out of? If it has life force. It's more like Fiery Dragon. But how the fuck Fiery Dragon is able to steal life? It doesn't feel vampiric in any way. I don't understand. Maybe it steals life, but like, because it's so hungry, because it needs to like burn that life force or something. I don't know. It's crazy. Does it say anything? Out of the cage? Nope. Doing just fine. Well, at least it got nerfed. Didn't look dead. Crazy card. Oh, I knew that for a very long time. But he did nerf like Borklers. And Civ comes from Titans. A lot of shit in Titans expansion is insane, bro. Holy Jesus. We just realized because things rotated out and like Titans just are insane cards. And the rest of the expansion is insane. They're like, you know what help them think about all the bad meta breakers. Instead, the only thing that breaks meta is spell. And many Titans could have been. The idea here is just like, you know, effect. Now I'm looking at Titans and which effects are mostly used. Again, the broken Titans that I hate usually just use removal effects. So there's blood thing, then there's priest removal bullshit. Shaman does not necessarily use removal, but it has a Borkler, so that's pretty good. That's usually the go-to spell. So just nerf that one option that's way too popular. That's how you do it. And the game is spicier because there's other options, apparently, on the Titans. You don't just have to do one thing. Titans don't usually survive long enough to use the second effect. And definitely not the third one. Because it's useful. And there has to be a genuine choice between... I don't know how I disperse this. It's very... I just, like, threw it on the beat here because I don't care either, Blizzard. I don't care. I don't know how to talk about it. It's just like power creep. It's very difficult to actually talk about a lack of nerfs. Because of course I want more. I want things to get chopped off that like get boring very fast. You have seen those cards too many times. But let's keep going. Do you understand what a journey we're going through right now? How many things we found? That's so pathetic about Hearthstone. So that, one of the most popular videos on my channel is fun cards being trashed. Because it's very searchable. When you search Bounty Board or Howdy Fin, you're going to find these thumbnails in Google search. That is why I get a little bit extra views. Right, so that's disgusting. We already have 2 cards and we have this confirmation that people care about those 2 cards. But let's see what cards could have been fun, but they're trash. I'm not sure what this card is supposed to do. And it's very difficult to test it. It still looks like it's playable. As weird as it is. But it's technically trash because there's no weapons for it. Thanks, I guess. Well, this Death Rattle. Do you get it into your hands? I don't know. I don't think so. Wouldn't that be like... But kind of. I don't even know how things work. That's how bad it is. I've never seen anyone play it. So that is definitely at least an aspect. Didn't see this weapon thing go off. The weapon Demon Hunter, it's still interesting to me. But it doesn't exist. Alright. It's not easy to find all these cards. So I'll be browsing a lot. Of like, what are the fun cards? But they cannot be played. Because they're too weak. But they look pretty cool. They don't look like a Borkler lifesteal nonsense. Or just a regular weapon. Or just a stupid spell. I want a card that I want to play, but it's too weak. So let's see what else I find. G display is not interesting, for example. Because the cards are trash. If they want to buff something, they should buff, like, these weird, like... This one is interesting. I mean, the effect is kind of... shit. But it's also a 2-drop that's a 2-1. Like, what? And no one wants to play this because it's not important. Fun cards. It's just like, the only purpose it serves is to be traded. But it's still, like, very expensive to do so. Just for the sake of that. Because you still have to draw it to get your return of the investment. Like, do something different. Give me a coin, for example. Pay for that. Any purpose. It probably still wind up 2 mana crystals at once. Then we're going somewhere. We actually have a reason to trade, not to just like make this one card stronger. You must understand, I'm only talking about the standard cards. And there's still enough, like 60 things to talk about for like 7 episodes. 7 hours. Bro. Mana buffs, I mean, it's kind of weird to do that. 1 health, 1 attack buffs now. It's kind of cringe. But I'll take it. I still haven't seen play that 1-drop. Because that's not the problem. Like, the effect is everything in this fucking game. Especially 1-drop, 2-drop effect. Jesus. I've barely seen this being played. It's kind of crazy. What is this? Oh, I wish that would be cool if ores were like cheap and not toxic and disturbing. And this is probably still pretty good. But at the same time, you... What? In your hand deck and... Yeah, it's fine. Fine. We're just looking at class cards, so it's gonna be a lot worse in neutral set. If neutral set cards don't fucking see play, like, that's crazy, bro. Those are not supposed to be pack fillers. I understand if class cards don't get played because there's not enough synergy or whatever. Or just the class is not explored. And there's only one good deck for the class. But for neutral set to not be played, like, Jesus Christ. That's so annoying how I've never seen this being played. But it's fine. I would play it. It's just there are cards that I can't even play. Ever. Only as a meme of, like, to show people how unplayable it is. This could have been a cool card. They could definitely design Lab Patron properly. This would have been so nice. But oh, gets 2 minis. Just give us a fucking 5-drop that give us minis, bro. Just 1 mini. But instead we have this garbage for 9. Unplayable. But it has to synergize with that other card that pulls down the most expensive mech from your hand. It has to synergize, guys. I swear. Thank you. Amazing. And it's not like minis are that powerful. Just give us 1 at least. And we thought Glacial, but make cards actually playable. Not 9 mana. Shard will be I can't believe they finally did it. Whoa! Holy Jesus! We should celebrate, you know, we should fucking, like, do fireworks and stuff. Like, oh my god, they did that one thing, guys! They have summarized into a keyword something for once. And now they can just say elusive on cards. Crazy! So what it was, cannot be targeted by hero powers or spells? That was 2 lines. When is the next thing that's gonna get a keyword? We have to fucking celebrate. I'll show you. I'll show you the next thing. There's a thing called 3 lines of text for this evolve effect. But it's shaman, so they don't deserve evolve. If evolve was keyword, it would have been used more often. Because they don't have to print ugly looking fucking cards. It's just the keyword. Everyone understand what evolve is. I would imagine. Shit, this is the... So I don't... Evolve was, from the very beginning of the game, a thing. We all... I don't know, but it's a 5/5. Points of... Stop. And my beginning is GVG, so... What the fuck is this shit? This is not even a corpse explosion. The only thing that carries it is that these have, like, abilities. So, technically, this is 2 points of tempo. 2 points of tempo is a 1-drop. That's a 1-drop. But because they have abilities, it's 3 points of tempo, so it's 2-drop. But that's 3 points of tempo. That's not a 2-drop. That's a 2-drop without an effect. That's a fucking raptor, bro. Like, this just... What is this? How do you not fucking calculate this card is useless? Because you still have to, like, buff it at least and unleash the soldiers. This would cost 1 mana. I don't know. Maybe 1 deck is gonna play it if it costed 1 mana. 1 deck. Like, we went from the egg meta game where everyone plays egg because it's a fucking undead, you know, but it's at least, like, useful and you can sort of, like, cheat out and give taunt sometimes. Egg was sometimes playable. This is similar power level to an egg, but it's 3 mana. How did they do that? Holy shit. Shit. So maybe they try to make a fun card, and because it's a fun card, it has to cost 2 extra mana. Fuck you, let's go, boys. It's like this garbage. Oh my god, look at this art. I don't care about no art. It would have been a cool card because you plug it onto the board, you get board cleared, you get brawled, and I still have my tiny soldiers to do absolutely nothing with. But it's at least fun. I deal almost 5 damage, guys. Wow. Because very little and a color. Holy shit. Of skin. And that could be playable, as we said. Holy Jesus. Right. We need it more than ever before. I wonder if... Yeah, but it's just a fun card, so it cannot be played, okay? Don't play fun cards. These miniature things are unplayable and could be so much cooler. Because it's down neutral. This one in particular, I care about so much because it's down neutral. And when I see now, it's like Demon Hunter's supposed to have this card. Palm Divine Shield, and it's a playable card all of a sudden. Well, I guess some people play Freebird somehow. It's so cool, you can change your hero power in any class. No one plays Algalon. It's a shit card. But you change your hero power's permanent effects. But it's shit, bro. Why? Why? How did they do that? I have no idea. But sometimes you can just... It's such a cool, just in general idea to change your hero power, and it doesn't work. The moment they printed that shit out, like, what? Stupid Algalon haters. God damn it, bro. Free Bird is a little bit playable, but like, what? It's cringe. It's cringe bird for sure. Could have been doing something else. Could have been copying itself somehow. I don't know, bro. It seems like a cool concept. The more things you play. We have seen this before. With another bird. Well, whatever. Doesn't work. Just get copies of nerds. Oh. Probably I'm asking too much on this one. Bro, buff Whizbang. All the time you have to buff Whizbang. There's no escape. Please. You know what? Add more armor cards to Whizbang. It's good enough. We're gonna counter all the ODKs by playing Whizbang. That's how we're gonna fucking do it. It would be nice if Cho'Gall was like more consistent, more interesting to play. It would be a 50-50, something happens or a different thing happens. Of course, changing the rules is like crazy, bro. But it's not that crazy. Usually my opponent gets the benefit instead of me. There's too many choices, too much weird shit can happen. And nobody wants to just... Mostly control decks can use this, but it's still weird. There's like, how many anomalies do we need? Holy crap. And we still don't get them consistently anyways. Play random, and so in a way just adding a dead card to spice things up. Whatever, at least it's playable. Never seen this card being played. But you can easily generate it. Therazane. And if you look into the elementals, you're not gonna find that many. But it's a very good tempo card to double your stats, at least. That's something. There's... Shaman can already do that, by the way. Shaman has the elementals can already fucking double stats with just the stupid combo spell thing. So the combo goes like this, and I've pulled it off. Hagatha into this. Actually, this into Hagatha? No. Hagatha into this, into the frog that does this. And then you have giant minions. And maybe Alakir is big enough to just kill the next turn. So probably I should try that more often. At some point. This is 18 damage. It's kind of fucking awesome, bro. At least someone's in charge, am I right? Go. Try to do something like small spells, not giant, crazy spells. Yeah, Merge Cellar not working very well, giving my opponent giant, very useful spells is kind of lame. Fucking sell some potions or something like something useless. You know what? Merge Cellar also needs to steal coins from my opponent. That would be amazing. Yeah, and take coins. Don't give them for free. It doesn't work. Nobody wants to play this shit. We're so close. Well, it's not really a fun card. This stupid Snake Oil Merchant. But fun cards being trash is annoying as fuck, bro. That's the shit that I want to make content for. And I can't. Because not enough fun cards. God damn it, bro. But it's... You don't care. Last legendaries, bro. Ugly design. S tier. We'll have to talk about it very carefully now. Because that shit is the second most annoying shit in Hearthstone. The ugly, goddamn, awful design. So let's quickly run down what I collected, because this is 17 minutes already. So to prove my point. Absolutely. First of all, Reno and just Borklers in general, things disappearing from the board, that's ugly in and of itself. But there's one more thing. There's Titans. They're ugly because you don't quite know all the effects that Titans can do. You have to hover and read, and it's stupid. Even those like signature cards are ugly, but I didn't actually count that. There's so many things that just makes me feel cringe when I look at cards. Another ugly design is there's a line limit. There's 4 lines in a card available. And if you have a card like the Shaman thing here, Evolve Effect, you can barely do anything. One more line can be added to this Evolve Effect. That's it. What can you do with one more line, bro? Not much, I'll tell you that much. Which is why it's so difficult for them to just have more Evolve cards. You can't squeeze much into this. The only thing you can do is turn it into a fucking location and give it as a core card, because like, oh my god, thank you. Thank you. We figured out where to put Evolve in. It's buried alive, basically, now. It's game over. Forge is annoying. Forge is... And a lot of keywords, they just, like, come and go. Forge is a fucking cool keyword. Should be evergreen. But recently, in the recent set, we didn't get anything. We got, like, a couple of cards in Badlands. Let's focus on that shit. 3 cards of Forge. Nah, just 2. 2 Forge cards. Thank you, oh my god. We got those 2 cards, so... They're the best fucking cards, bro. They're so good. At least the Priest one I play all the time, because it's a quick draw card. Lovely, bro. What happens? I did... Why they keep killing the good stuff? Why they make game ugly? Crafts Polygon. I genuinely... That's something. That's ugly, too. The way it works, like, what the fuck? It doesn't attack into it. It just, like, grabs the minion, puts it in a hand, and then gives it to your opponent. It's the ugliest fucking shit I've ever seen! Popular because they're extreme on the end of the episode. Let's recalculate as well, while we're at it. We're at 5 points for sure, episode versus give undead in your hand. Like, what? There's some inconsistency. It shouldn't say give all undead, because it says give all minions, so, like, what's the big deal here? But I guess you can't say that? What? Give there. No? I searched and there's no such thing as all undead at all. Okay, I guess. Only undead died after your last turn. That one's fucking ugly. The way it works is ugly. The way it looks and reads is ugly. What is this shit? It took me so long to figure out how it works. Of like, oh, if the undead died your last turn and this turn, it died. Then bam. Okay, cool. But it's worded like trash, bro. It's trying to combine these 2 turns together. Like, bro, like, if you express everything like this, and also it just could have been a keyword as well, because it's repeated across multiple cards. Fucking nonsense, bro. Anytime, like, something is repeated over and over and over again, it's pretty elusive, isn't it? But we can't... It took me... This is why you have to celebrate every time they simplify something into a keyword. It's the greatest thing ever. They try to put enrage into a keyword, but decided not to. Revert to the change. That was a big move that I still have nightmares about. I still remember of how terrible it is to not have keywords. simplify. Breaker, right? So it's when you so I don't have to read too much text. All these 4 lines. I would have just need to read 2 lines. Crazy, right? And maybe just 1 because Battlecry disappears. Well, not 1. Battlecry can technically disappear. I don't know. We'll see. Some. That too. Simply because this card. So that's pretty ugly. And every time we're gonna find something ugly, even if it's just a singular thing, very similar of like just keyword that could have been simplified. Still, some keyword card is broken. Thank you. Poisonous is annoying. Poisonous, the way the keyword works can be ugly. Of like a 1-1 kills 10-10, 30-30, 1-1. Poisonous? Isn't poison like a damage over time? The best way to express damage over time is like the minion has to return to your hand so it doesn't die, basically. But it just 30-30 dies from poisonous. Giants fucking die from tiny fucking spider bites. What the fuck is this garbage, bro? Lifesteal is ugly because it's two-sided. It's like unexplainable. How you can stab a vampire and he will drain your fucking health at the same time. And he will drain even more health based on his attack and not your health. You know? You fucking drain 10 health out of a fucking tiny spider again. Thank you. While the tiny spider is attacking the vampire will still drain 10 health from that tiny spider. What the fuck is this bullshit design, bro? Again, Elder Scrolls Legends has drain, and it's one-sided. And it makes sense, to some extent, but they still drain too much. And hard. You know? Then there's this ugly thing where, like, the card is shit because it's ugly. The card makes no fucking sense. Why is the 4-mana +2/+2 exist? Oh, but it has this bonus that no one fucking has 5 corpses, bro, laying around. Check your fucking room. You have 5 corpses. Just like that. You have to fucking work for it. Jesus. All these, like, requirements to make the card work, like, makes no fucking sense to me. What's 7? What the fuck is this ugly shit that nobody... Again, it's more of like a carryover. I love hearing that, and I will love saying that potentially. What is this ugly shit? Let's make it a meme for sure from that no one wants to play. Huh? I think Hellier is ugly. Yeah, Hellier is ugly. And it's ironic because she's a female, bro. Fucking ugly. Get those plagues out of here, bro. No one. Like, it's so ugly designed that you're afraid to draw cards. What the fuck are you talking? I'm scared of drawing cards. I might die. My god. Because it's infinite plagues, and like if I draw a plague, then like it's gonna come back to the deck and gonna haunt me forever. Drawing cards is bad now. Like power. This is just death, not that. That's one of those. Sometimes they just like make no sense because the card is so fucking weak, and it's like, but there's effect. What effect? What minions are you gonna fucking kill? You're not gonna summon a 3/3 on turn 2 ever, and at this point might as well, you know, give some stats. Like, what the fuck is? Why are they so scared of like, oh no, a 2-mana 3/4 with rush? That's insane. It would kill the game, boys. Snakebite. Insanity, bro. Yeah, unplayable cards. You can't even use where, and they summon them with a. I don't know, bro. How they do that? I can understand like wolves stealing life to some extent. Oh yeah, Hollowhound is fucking ugly. I already told you why. Get the fuck out of here, Hollowhound. Jeez. I mean, once we're gonna rant about a new thing. We can't have no more one Borkler anymore. Borkler. Double Borkler. Not being... It hurts, man. Double Borkler, things just disappearing. Pretty ugly, as I've said. Because you never know if you're... Because, like, what's the point of death rattles, then? Hey? Where's my death rattle? I can't even have death rattles. That many death rattles no longer printed. but they still have to make minions disappear. Opponent is double-sided Borkler. It should go the other way around, where Twisting Nether should deal a certain amount of damage, and if it cannot find minions, you take damage to your face. Because you get punished for not having minions. For fuck's sake. Should have been backwards. Ugly design. That's also an ugly design, just things disappearing, but like, okay, fine. And this weird shit that this is gonna get pretty bad. We're not done. By any means, like, you generate random spells related to those spells. Warrior and Mage are fucking ugly. Obviously. So Mage spells from all kinds of classes. Like, why is Mage not casting spells from other classes, like learning fire spells, learning frost spells from other classes? Only Rogue can do that? Stealing, but Mage cannot, like, learn things? Learn to summon cool minions or something? I don't know, bro. It's kind of lame. And Warrior just the most generic fucking thing. Armor, weapon, and Borkler removal. Wow, so cool. With secrets, and then spell damage. There are also Borkler. Make you disappear. There's not just... I mean, Power Creep is pretty ugly design. Pretty much 3 times better. And people are not forced to better. And it is. Doesn't do... I don't know about this one, whatever. Because I want to play Temple. Do anything with a card when... Sometimes a card is just useless. So Fight Over Me has to have your opponent to play 2 minions, which is the most impossible thing ever. But when it works, it's pretty satisfying. But most of the time, this card is unplayable by definition, because your opponent needs 2 minions. So sometimes the flexibility of the card just falls flat. It requires the undead, right? You've seen, there was another requirement on this goddamn awful fucking card. Because it's ugly. It requires friendly undead. Might as well just remove this part and let's laugh about it, of how fucking stupid this card is. Oh my god, Sinister Soul Cage is so funny. Anything that goes face is also pretty ugly. So the plagues are ugly and the curses were very stupid. We still have the fatigue thing going on. Split. There's the split damage. And guess what? It's 2 lines. You can simplify that to just deal 8 split damage. Right? You can say split, you can say spread. If you want to hit your opponent's face. You know. But this is too much text. For an effect that it occurs over and over and over again. It occurs so many times. Deal damage to all. To all. To enemies. Or just spread damage. That means enemy minions, specifically. Right? How about that? There's also the weakest. The weakest. Right? When I say this, I've already done the work and I have it in my card game. Theoretically, because I can only make so many things myself, right? But just to spread damage, which would be a wonderful way to replace Borklers. Spreading damage is, oh man, too fucking difficult to simplify. Turn it into a keyword and give it to more cards. Too complicated, boys. End of turn is questionable. Passive effects are questionable. There's something weird about them. Because it says nothing, right? But I'll let it pass. Use one effect. So yeah, there's some useless shit that might not work. Why just print it in the first place? Druid can have it because Druid can choose which effect to use. And then the card is never going to be useless. It's always going to be able to do something. That's very important. Like, there's these, like, one-sided things that you do one thing. One thing only. Forgotten animatronic. Oh, I wonder why. They knew it already. Whoever named it after they saw the entire thing. It's forgotten, guys. We need 3 more points. Replay every single Shudderwalk card in existence. Sounds like fucking stupid idea. There's a lot of reasons for it. Like, you would think like, oh shit, but it's such a fun card. But you have to keep track of every single card you have played that's from another class. And no longer it's fun. Now I have to think constantly of like, if I play this class card, if bad things gonna happen to me when I play test, because I have to play and replay test over and over again. Shudderwalk was definitely a fucking fun card, wasn't it? Everyone praised the Shudderwalk. Just sitting back and watching Yogg-Saron animations for a whole fucking minute when all of a sudden you die because of Yogg-Saron as well. Like, this garbage design is insanity, bro. What the hell? Another thing I'm gonna tell you, not only fucking Warrior has 6 brawls, but you can discover more. You can discover more Borklers if you want. Why not, right? I really forgot about that shit. The discover rule for Borklers. Oh my god. I will put it in, because this has to be addressed. Basically, this says, if you have 2 minions, actually 3 minions, if you have 3 minions, 3 or 5 minions, 3 or 4 minions, you summon a 12/12. That's cool, right? 4 mana, 12/12. You just have to have 3 minions on the board. Which is not that big of a deal. You just put snakes in there, and you're basically there. Let's go, boys. There's some sneaky design things where you can get too many stats out of a certain card. Just like you can summon a giant out of this fucking 4-drop. Oh, it summons giants, and then you summon more giants with this, and it's like fucking, what the fuck is going on? Like, can we stop these weird synergies that you just, like, on turn 4 you have 16 points of stats out of nowhere in 2 classes now, which happens to be one of the best classes right now. I wonder why. I wonder what's so special about Hunter and Warlock right now, what they can do in the game. Probably just cheat a lot of mana with very sneaky spells that don't actually have stats on them. So it's very difficult for us to like catch up and know exactly what these things do. Oh man, but it's just like someone random. It's someone random. It doesn't even have stats. But then we're gonna catch on of like, it's probably better than a fucking 2/2. And the Treant Druid was playable and was able to win with this thing. Like, there's so much sneaky shit going on. They're trying to do this. They're just desperately trying to squeeze as much power level without triggering you with like a 1 mana 2/3. Oh my god, it's a 1 mana 2/3. Oh my god, bro, we found it. What is Blizzard thinking? Not the 2/3, but 4 mana 12/12. Fuck that. I don't care. I'll just have a Borkler anyways. So anytime a 4 mana 12/12 shows up, anytime 4 mana 8/8 shows up, I'll just have removal somehow magically, bro. Like, yeah, of course. You're that fucking cool, right? Well, most people don't have. You know, most people are, in fact, scammed in this fucking game. And I think that concludes another episode. We still have 19 problems to go, and we found the second S-tier thing. The ugliness of Hearthstone. Fuck this shit, bro. See you guys next episode.